Jai Sri Ram, friends. Welcome to Bharat Marg. Welcome Vinay Ji to Bharat Marg. Appreciate you joining us. And guess what, friends? Today we are going to talk about terrorist eliminated. Indian spy agency Ra is world number one. Okay, that's what Vinay Ji is here to discuss about. Is that right, wrong? You know what it is, and watch this video to know how the terrorists are being spotted and eliminated. No matter which part of the world they live in, unbelievable things are happening. Uh, let's discuss with Vinay Ji. And before that, before going further, friends, please make sure to like the video, comment on the video, share the video with as many people as you can. And also, friends, please make sure to subscribe the channel Bharat Marg and also press the notification bell to make sure that you get notified as we go live with the heading. Like today's heading for the topic is terrorists eliminated. Indian spy agency Ra is world number one. And why you got to know that, and why the terrorists are, their pants are getting wet. Okay, Vinay Ji can explain, put more light to it. Vinay Ji, welcome to the show. And the terrorists eliminated. Indian spy agency Ra is world number one. They are not just an agency who will be sitting and eating biryani like what they did before. Please go ahead, Vinay Ji.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's you picked a good topic to discuss today.
Mhm.
So basically, I just want to give an insight about what the Khalistani movement is, how it all started, and what really triggered everything that is going on today. Okay.
Mhm.
So, the Khalistani movement is not from today or yesterday. It started way back in the 50s, 60s, somewhere around that time. Uh,
Mhm.
it wasn't called Khalistani movement as they didn't have a name for it, but some of the fundamentalists, there are Sikh fundamentalists, I should say.
No, I won't even call that Sikh fundamentalist. Let me correct it. The Chaplasis who work for Pakistan. Okay, is that right way to put it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yes. I mean, I just want to use a word. I mean, it's a long word, what you just said. So Sikh fundamentalist is pretty short and sweet for me,
Come on,
right?
come on. Right.
So that's
Absolutely.
why these guys basically wanted a separate state for themselves. Okay. So they thought that, if Pakistan and India can be separated, because they are Muslim, a section of Muslims wanted to have a separate country, and obviously, Muhammad Ali Jinnah and Jawaharlal Nehru and Gandhi were the
Mountbatten wife. No talking about that today. Yeah.
yeah, but they were the doctors and engineers of this whole creation of Pakistan and Bangladesh, right? So they did that, and then the Sikh fundamentalists, they said, okay, why not we have a separate state too? If Muslims can get their separate state, we should get our separate state as well. So that's how it all started. And then, in coincidentally, the funny thing is, I mean, you won't believe it. A lot of it was actually a part of it was supported by the Congress party. Okay, this whole movement, and you will be surprised when I say that, because one of the Congress leaders, was killed by these extremist Khalistani people. So this basically. Triggered the Anandpur resolution, and then
Mhm.
Anandpur Sahib resolution. That's what it's called. And then the Akalis were defeated in the 1972 Punjab elections, and to regain public appeal, the party put forward the Anandpur Sahib resolution in 1973 to demand a radical devolution of power and further autonomy to Punjab. Okay, so that's the kind of, this was in 1972. That's how it started. And then the fundamentalist in 1982, Mr. Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale joined hands to launch the Dharam Yuddha Morcha in order to
Saint,
the resolution.
Saint, Saint Sahib.
Sant, yeah, he's called Sant Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale by these fundamentalists. And the Congress party was extremely supportive. And even at the time, the RAW, the research and analysis wing that was controlled by the Congress, they didn't have the autonomy at the time, because all the government agencies, compared to today, they were totally controlled by the federal government in India. And at the time, the RAW Special Secretary GBS Sidhu actually said that RAW itself helped build the Khalistan legend, actively participated in the planning of Operation Blue Star. Okay. So while he was posted in Ottawa in Canada in 1976 to look into the Khalistan problem among the Sikh diaspora, and this is pre 1984, you got to remember this. 1984 was when Indira Gandhi, the Prime Minister of India, was assassinated by the Khalistanis, by our own security people. But I'm talking 1976, almost 8 years before 1984. Okay, before Indira Gandhi was assassinated. Sidhu, who was representing RAW, he found nothing amiss during the 3 years he was there. Nothing amiss meaning there was nothing wrong with the Khalistani movement. Everything was hunky-dory. And he came back to Delhi and he stated that Delhi was unnecessarily making a mountain out of a molehill where none existed. And that the agency created 7 posts in Western Europe and North America in 1981 to counter non-existing Khalistan activities. And the deployed officers were not always familiar with the Sikhs or the Punjab's issue. So the secessionist movement, okay, this is a very important term, and he described the secessionist movement of the so-called Khalistanis as a chimera. You know what's a chimera? Chimera is like a mirage, okay, that doesn't exist until the army operation, after which the insurgency would start. So the RAW was totally controlled by the Congress government at the time. And it was all hushed up pretty much. Okay. And they were there is also stuff that the government of India was actually like the way the Russians were arming up the Taliban, and you know what happened to Taliban later on, right? So that's how these guys were actually arming up the Khalistanis. And even Bhindranwale was extremely close to the Congress leaders. That's what the rumors go. Okay, so this is the whole background to it. Now I'm just going to fast forward to 1984 when Indira Gandhi was assassinated, and okay, just going back one step before, the Khalistanis, they actually started the armed movement against the government of India, and between 1976 and 1984, hundreds and thousands of people. Hundreds of thousands of people were killed. And even innocent Punjabis, like many of them were even Sikhs. These Sikhs who are patriotic, who are part of India, they were killed. Many Hindus were killed, Punjabi Hindus, and this was now spreading from outside of Punjab to Haryana and Delhi and stuff like that. And then eventually Operation Blue Star happened. Okay, so where the Indira Gandhi was so frustrated, she sent the Indian army to go into the Golden Temple where all these Khalistanis were hiding, and they flushed out the Khalistanis. They killed them en masse, and Bhindranwale was killed. And then her own security guys were completely upset with what happened to the Khalistanis and the Punjabis, and they basically assassinated her. And then after that, the Congress party
means Indira Gandhi said, "Mera Abdul aisa nahi hai," aisa. So she kept them.
Pretty much, because she trusted her own security, because she didn't know that these security people were actually working for the Khalistanis. Okay, unfortunately. And then after that, the Congress party went on a rampage, killing hundreds and thousands of Sikhs. Wherever they saw a turban person, they were killing them. And then many of these Sikhs left India and they took refuge in US, in Europe, and Canada, and so on and so forth. And now these guys who took refuge here in Canada, Australia, US, Europe, and whatever, right? They kind of started some fringe organizations. Okay. But how do these fringe organizations come up, right? Well, you got to keep in mind that you started, when we started this debate, you started by saying, you corrected me and said, these are not fundamentalists, Sikh fundamentalists. These are, what did you use? ISIS funded
Pakistani chaplusis.
Pakistani jasusis. Exactly.
Because
So,
fundamentalist is a person who adhere to the guru's teaching to the T. They won't move away from it, right? Is that what the fundamentalist is all about?
no, fundamentalist is a
From the
person.
holy book, whatever they say, they want to hold off it.
No, fundamentalist is basically they believe in a certain part of the holy book. Okay, they believe that this is it, and
Means
that's
both the covers.
yeah, they believe only that philosophy and nothing but, and they forget everything else written in the book, the good stuff, but they only follow that. Okay, fundamentalism is basically, I'm an extremist, right? I believe in that one particular chapter of that book. That's what they are, fundamentalists. Okay, so that's fundamentalism. And then the obviously the Pakistanis and the ISIS were funding these guys. And now what has happened, I'm going to fast forward to 2022 and 2023. The Congress party is getting ready for the 2024 big elections in India, federal elections in India. Now they are creating a narrative that the Indian government is not stable, it's not strong, it's weak, it's kind of marginalizing the minorities, including the Muslims, the Sikhs, the Christians, and the Dalits, and
Italians.
so on. Okay, no, sir, not Italians. Italians are they are loved.
Integral part of Indian
Integral
roots.
part of India. Exactly. So basically, the Congress party is trying everything, and you saw what Pappu did. Sorry, what's his name? Rahul Gandhi, the so-called Congress leader.
Pappu Khan.
So what
Mr.
he did
Pappu
was,
Khan.
early this year, he went to Boston and Cambridge and wherever, and he started talking badly about India. Now let's talk about the rest of the stuff that we want to talk about. I think it's a very interesting topic.
Ra is number one in the world. How come?
I knew that would be your next question. That's why I was ready for that.
Right.
So what Ra was, I told you about Sidhu was the special secretary at the time, and what he said about Ra. But what Ra is today is totally different. Okay, Ra is a feared organization. Okay, Research and Analysis Wing is the spy agency of India, and they are highly elite, and extremely. What do you call it? They're being trained apparently by Mossad, okay, the Israeli spy organization. Okay, and Mossad is considered one of the world's number one spy organization, and people even from the US and Europe go to Mossad to get trained. Okay, so Ra was actually trained by Mossad, and now they're following the footsteps of Mossad. Mossad has believed in Mossad. You got to take. I'll just give you one quick. I'm going to digress for one quick second. Okay, Israel is in the middle of the Middle East. Okay, the entire Middle East is Muslim countries. Okay, and Israel is the only Jewish country, and there's always been a strong kind of a disconnect and dispute between the Jewish people and the Muslims. Okay, so and that's historic actually. But still, despite all of that, Israel has stayed a very stable country, and nobody can shake.
No conversion.
No, nothing. No, nobody can shake Israel because Israel is a very strong country. Although it's a very small country. They have a very extremely strong army, extremely strong spy organization called Mossad, and they have been able to keep PLO, that's the Palestine Liberation, and Palestinians out of Israel for a very long time. No insurgency, nobody coming in through the borders, nothing of that sort. Okay,
No
and
refugees.
and the key players in Palestine, right? Any terrorist who are opposed to the Israel thing, or they want to eliminate Israeli leaders or whatever, Mossad gets notice of that right away, even before it is done.
They
And
don't see the
how they
light.
do, yeah, I don't know how they do it. They get a clue, they get information, and guess what? Those leaders, those terrorists are eliminated even before they can even plan. So that is how advanced the network is of Mossad. So Raw is following the same footsteps. Okay, so now let's go to the what has happened in the last few months. Okay, the most recent one is I'm going to talk about some of the people who've been eliminated. Okay, in
Mhm.
um, what is it in Canada, in BC, recently a person by name Nijar. Okay, he was killed. Okay,
Mhm.
so Nijar was killed in broad daylight in outside a gurudwara, and and Nijar is actually he's uh, called the what is it Khalistan Tiger Force chief. Okay, his full name is Hardeep Singh Nijar, and this man was eliminated, gone mysteriously, gunned down.
And before that, one of the guys who came out of the jail from the after the Air India bombing, he was also gone in Surrey.
Correct, correct. So
Yeah. Actually,
Ripudaman,
Canadian government let him go out so that he can get things.
Ripudaman Malik, and accused in the 1985 Air India Kanishka terror bombing, who was actually he is an accused in the 1985 Air India Kanishka bombing. Now he was acquitted in the court. Okay,
In the Canadian court.
in the Canadian court. Okay, so don't you see there is something going on here? Like, how can a person of that kind of accusation be acquitted in the court?
Biggest terrorist attack in the entire Canadian history.
Exactly, biggest terrorist attack in the entire Canadian history, and the person who is accused is walks away scot free. And I will tell you something: there is definitely some connection here, government connection or something, and that's how the guy got acquitted. Okay, I don't want to name names, but I'll tell you, it's a very
But I want to give you some of the things I am hearing. You are an opponent of liberal government, so you always take on them. But let me say something. As per our sources, liberal government is working tight underground with Modi ji. Otherwise, these guys cannot be eliminated without the prime minister's support.
I don't know. I'm kind of breathing heavily on that, so I'm not sure. So I don't want to make any comment on that. But I'll tell you, this man, he walks away scot free, and last year in 2022, Ripudaman Malik, I mean, people were upset, obviously, and obviously there is a connection. I mean, government of India was upset that a primary accused in the Air India bombing case is now walking away scot free because of the Canadian courts. I don't know if it was because of lack of evidence or something like that, why they decide to acquit him,
To
and
please certain section of vote bank.
or to please a certain section of the vote bank. Who knows? So this man was eliminated. He was gunned down mysteriously. Till today, nobody knows who killed Nijar, who killed Rupudaman Malik. And then let's go to the next guy. Paramjit Singh Panjwar. Okay,
Mhm.
he is the so-called head of Khalistani Commando Force. Okay, I don't know what these commando and movement and what do they have? They have some lathis and swords.
They don't look like a commando.
Come on, man! Like they look like, oh my god, they look like a joke. What do they call themselves commando for? Okay, these guys, they claim that they are the Khalistani Commando Force chief. Oh my god, it's a joke. Actually, I mean these guys can't even shoot an eagle, a bird, and these guys are talking about assassinating people and taking over Punjab. That's a joke. So anyway, on May 6th, this man was reportedly assassinated in Pakistan. He lived in Pakistan, and reinforcing the same view in some quarters, suspecting that ISI, Pakistan's spy agency that has been the main patron of Khalistani terrorists, could be engaged in a purge to get rid of secessionists who have outlived their shelf lives and replaced them with younger blood. I mean, there's all kinds of rumors going around about this.
Right.
Okay. So who is behind this? We don't know. And again, mysteriously. Okay. Now, the other one was in India, this Amritpal Singh. Okay. So he was absconding for how many days? Almost 30 days or 45 days. 65,000 people. A police force, Punjab police force has 65,000 police personnel, and every one of them was looking for this guy, but nobody could find it. They had videos circulating of this man,
And he was running in Salwar Kamis.
Yeah, he was in different
commando,
disguise, and nobody could eliminate it. And then finally, Amit Shah, the home minister, had a meeting with the Punjab chief minister, and I don't know what transpired inside the closed doors. But this man, the Punjab chief minister, he came out and he said, "Okay, we got to get our act straightened out." And you know that Aam Aadmi Party that is actually ruling Punjab, and Arvind Kejriwal, who is the head of Aam Aadmi Party, they are extremely pro Khalistan. Okay, and that's how they won the vote bank in Punjab, and that's how they came to power. So although the Khalistanis are only about a fringe 2 to 3% of the population in Punjab, they somehow were able to muster up, and I don't know, the story is like that. But then within days after this meeting between the Punjab chief minister and Home Minister Amit Shah, Amritpal was arrested, and now he's in Assam jail. Okay. And then Amritpal's handler, Avtar Singh Khanda, okay? This man, he suddenly dies.
Wow.
Okay? So I'm talking about, and then there was a killing in the UK, and I forget the name of this person, and this man was actually, they say he was poisoned, but he was also suffering from cancer or something like that.
Means, he was suffering in cancer. That's why he was able to climb the pole and remove the Indian flag and jump on it from the pole height.
Correct. Yes,
a terrible cancer.
Republic Day, during the Republic Day, he actually pulled down the Indian flag at the.
How passionate a cancer patient must be to do all these things. Right?
Exactly, and he was the mastermind behind that, and he climbed the flagpole. He pulled down the Indian flag, desecrated the Indian flag, and even vandalized the Indian consulate in London. So he was behind all of that, and he just got eliminated. So now going back to your question, who is behind all of this? Is RAW behind all of this? Is some people who are against Khalistani movement, are they against it? Is this a personal vendetta? But why is there a pattern? I'm seeing a pattern. I'm not sure. Are you seeing a pattern too?
Means even Sidhu Moosewala's murderers were fired like that in Pakistan. In Pakistan, every day their terrorists get killed there. So
Correct.
it's not a new thing over there. It's
Yeah.
a regular one.
So now, so
Is
there is
India is changing the warfare with the Ra? Is also another question.
exactly now the Indian government has categorically, warned the British government, the Canadian government, the Australian government, and many of these governments who are kind of are harboring these
Promoting
terrorists.
promoting the divide and rule.
Exactly, and but nothing. I mean, like for example, I'll give you a quick example. I was looking up the national security website of Canada. Okay,
Mhm.
it's called the Public Safety Canada website. Anybody can look it up. Okay, so it has the listed terrorist entities in Canada. There's a list of terrorist entities, and you can go in there and see which are they're in alphabetical order. So it's really not, it doesn't say okay, this one is the top, this one is second, whatever, right? But I'm just going through the alphabetical order, and quickly I went to the letter K, and under K I have Kahana Chai, Kurdish Workers Party. Those are the only two. I don't see Khalistan there. However, I go to I see Islamic State. I go to A, I see Al Qaeda. I go to I see Taliban. I go Tehrik-e-Taliban, World Tamil Movement, Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam. Lot of other organizations are here. Okay, I
And
do
you being
not
in the list doesn't mean anything. Means, come on. I deal a lot with the Tamil community, and LTT is a core vote base for Liberal Party by anyway.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've seen
And of course,
people.
conservatives are not too far. They are
Yeah, I
both
see
want to share the bed.
openly people are raising funds for these Tamil and Tamil movement and whatever, right? At least until this Pirabakaran, the LTT leader, was alive. Up until then, there was a huge fundraising going on, but now that the organization is completely split and broken and whatever, right? I don't know what's going on. But coming back to the raw and the Khalistan killings and whatever, I don't know. I want to leave the viewers with that question mark. Like, is Raw behind this? I don't know who is behind this, but you are seeing a pattern. If there's a vendetta, it'll be against one person. If Riputaman Malik had a personal vendetta, somebody wanted to eliminate him because he owed him some money, or he kissed his wife, or something like that, right? So then he would only kill Riputaman Malik. But why are the Khalistanis being eliminated one by one? And in different parts of the world. It happened in UK, it happened in Pakistan, it happened in in
And
Canada.
Vinay ji, this is very important as we approach the end of it. I want you to talk about it in 30 seconds if you can. Okay, the terrorists today are afraid. Okay, I'll say you why. Okay, I'll give you an example. There was a protest in consulate. Okay, Indian consulate, and normally they get bust from the gurudwaras. They come there, you know how it works. You get a free langar and come there and all those things and all. But this time not many people showed up because they didn't want to be on the cross hand, you know because anybody who comes in, they enter to the crosshair of India's Ra is a way of saying. And that's why nowadays what they are doing is in the night they go and vandalize a park like this, temple like this, because they don't have no courage to do anything in the daytime. They don't want to get into the crosshair of the Ra, is what people are talking about. Please address this in 30 seconds. And
100%. I totally agree with you. And these guys are running scared because I mean, like every I mean, they are drawing a connection between this and the killings and the Indian government, the Raw or whatever, and Modi, right? And that's the reason they're calling Modi a terrorist. I mean, that's the most ridiculous statement I've ever come across, because these guys are running scared. I mean, like, come on, a person who climbed the flag in London and desecrated the Indian flag, within a few days he was eliminated. A guy who calls himself, the brain behind the Air India bombing was eliminated mysteriously. The guy who is the head of Khalistan Commando Force, eliminated. The guy in, the Niger guy in another Khalistani terrorist was eliminated mysteriously. So
we,
people are
we
afraid to show their
and
faces now.
and I just have one final thing to say. Please don't mind. I just want, some of the viewers may be wondering why we are not showing the picture of Sikh for Justice. What is that guy's name? Papu, one guy working for
Pannu.
Pannu, not Papu. Yeah, Papu, Pannu,
Pannu.
whatever, and why we are not showing his picture? Some people may be asking, because he doesn't want to be showed. Okay. Very, very, because we hear that some cars are coming very close to his car nowadays.
No, actually, there was a rumor that Pannu was also killed in a freak car accident.
Right.
But then it wasn't so,
and we only revealed it.
He's gone underground.
We only revealed it. If anybody wants to see, go and see the expose we made. We probably will attach that video here on how we spotted Pannu first.
Correct.
In a remote village in US.
So he is hiding somewhere, and obviously, whether it's Raw, whether it is whoever is after him. I mean, they're not going to spare him. Okay, I'll tell you that. All right, and that is the reason everybody should be afraid of RAW and should be afraid of Modi, because the thing is, end of the day, Modi ji is doing everything possible. Amit Shah is doing everything possible to get rid of this Khalistani movement. And end of the day, I'm going to be extremely blatant about it. Okay. The whole narrative was started because Congress is attacking Modi government in every possible way. They're creating false narratives. They created, everything that's the whole Tista Saval, whatever that lady's name, and then the one in
Chandra Chud.
Same thing, yeah, that land, and so many things that are going on. Then a couple of years ago, there was that another lady, another kid who was creating a big ruckus about the Indian government and the so there's this false narrative going on everywhere, because the whole idea is these opposition parties, somehow the crooks, I would say, in the opposition parties, they all want to come together and eliminate Modi, because Modi is after these guys. He wants a corrupt-free India. He wants these guys to go, and that's what they cannot take on, and they are doing everything possible to eliminate Modi, and that's the whole idea.
Absolutely. I just want to ask the viewers, what do you think? Are you excited about Ra taking on the terrorists right on the bay, changing the whole warfare tactics, like what Vinay Ji exactly said, like Mossad, taking care of them, spotting them and eliminating them, so that that has become the new warfare tactics of Indian government. And what do you think about it? Let us know, and we will love to hear from you. Thank you, Vinay Ji, for coming in and sharing your thoughts, and also Bulldozer Raj inside all the criminals, their homes. I was saying, our video just got released from Ujjain. We had a ground report. The guys were spitting on Mahakal. Okay, and guess what? Immediate justice. Okay, we had to make a decision whether you want Ram Raj or Ravan Raj. Okay, you want Bharat or the fake India promoted by the Gandhi Parivar, right, Vinay Ji? Fake India. We don't want no fake India. We want our Bharat. We want our Hindustan. That's what it is. Yeah. Thank you very much, Vinay Ji, for joining us and talking to us. Appreciate it, and looking forward to see you in the next video again. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.